Hi there, welcome. I'm Dr. Shiroko Sokic, owner of Heart to Heart Medical Center, and today I'm super excited to be interviewing my friend Lindsey Marie Meindel, who is a super special person. Thank you for being here today. I'm so excited to share your information with my audience.
Of course. Thanks for inviting me to be here. That's very generous of you.
Oh, my pleasure. So today we're going to be talking about an event that Lindsey is hosting starting on this Thursday, 3 days from now at 9 a.m. And it's called the Joy Reset. And Lindsey is the creator of the Joy Reset, a transformational online event that is designed to help women break free from exhaustion, low mood, and frustration by restoring their body's natural feel good systems. And she works using a lot of amino acids and testing that she uses to understand what is going on with your body. And I think what her work is super, super interesting. So I'm super excited to have you here, Lindsey. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So you tend to work with women who are exhausted and overwhelmed despite their best efforts to be healthy. And why do you feel like so many women are stuck?
Yeah, most women I talk to are doing all the right things, all the things that they see everybody else doing. They're eating better. They're trying who knows what different supplement that seems to be working for everybody else. They're exercising. They're taking time for themselves, all the self-care things, and they're still feeling exhausted, foggy, just not like themselves, not like how they knew they used to be or who they once were. And what I see the reason being is that they're missing these key pieces that their body needs to turn on these natural feel-good systems. So things like your brain chemistry needs support. You need the right balance of protein and nutrients and targeted supplements that actually fill those gaps, so that you're not spinning your wheels. You have these natural, I call them your natural feel-good engines in your brain. And if they're not being fueled, then you can chase all those things to try to feel better. But like, it's going to feel like willpower, willpower, willpower to be happy and to relax and to actually focus and have energy. Because the natural system in your body, the way you were designed, is like chug a lug. You can think you want to try to do that, but I can't fire that for you right now because I don't have what I need in order to fire. So the worst part, I think, is that like no one talks about this unless it's like we all know about like the brand name drugs that people take for their mood. And I feel like that's the only time people talk about like the brain chemistry side of mental health. And so many people just don't want to take them. So then they push like, no, I don't want to do that. And then like, yeah, but don't throw brain chemistry out with the bathwater, right? So women end up blaming themselves for feeling this way when really it's just that their body isn't getting what it really needs to function.
Got it. Well, you talk about the body's feel good systems. And so, can you explain that just a little bit more?
Yeah, of course. So there's four main feel-good systems in your body. You have a happy engine, which is your serotonin. You have your relaxation engine, which is your GABA. You have your energy engine, which most people know about dopamine, but there's a group of neurotransmitters to give you energy. And then there's your pleasure engine, those endorphins that people have heard about, where it's like, this is what fires to give you that natural pleasure in life. So you were designed to feel all those ways. You have these systems in your body so that you can feel those ways and enjoy being a human. And when you're not feeling those ways, it's a sign to me that those engines need support. They're not getting the fuel they need to help you feel good.
And how do you figure out which engines are out of balance? Do you do like a survey, or do you do some kind of testing, or do you kind of combine both? And how do
Yeah.
you, yeah.
Yeah. For the, so let's see. Yes, both and. So I always start out when I'm talking to somebody, they take what's called the mood checkup. And the mood checkup is helping me understand which of those four systems might be struggling the most. And then when someone decides to work with me, we take that mood checkup over and over and over again so that people can see if they're making improvement. I can see if they're stuck somewhere and what really do they need. And one of the first steps is truly supplements. So usually when people come to me, those buckets are they're low, and it's like we need some crutches. We need something to help us get those feel-good engines humming, so that you can actually do the real work to change your lifestyle and do all the things that you know you want to do, but just can't find the motivation. You can't relax. You're just stuck in like negativity. So we use that mood checkup to really focus on which amino acids, which supplements do you need to get those humming. And I also use it's a hair lab for this first step of really feeding your brain that looks at 1,100 different foods. So yes, supplements are good for crutches, but nobody wants to like be on them forever, right? So we're also looking at what are you eating that's disturbing your metabolism, which is having a ripple effect to your immune system and everything else. So this 1,100 different foods lab that I do really helps people focus on substituting some of their foods, because there's so many foods you can really swap things. You can see what your body is telling you to swap out in your diet. So if you have grapes is one that comes back as intolerant a lot for people, but it's a certain type of grape. So maybe green grapes you're intolerant to, and this lab will tell you, but you can actually eat red Thompson grapes and they're actually therapeutic. So you don't have to give up grapes. You just have to stop buying these grapes and start buying these grapes. So yeah, that's the testing I use for the feeding the brain part of working together, is really watching that mood checkup and see how people are feeling. And then also using that lab to make sure that they're putting in their body is keeping their metabolism happy.
Got it. So what about hormones? Do they play a role in your path, or do you focus mostly on the brain chemistry and the nervous system?
Yeah, I'm focusing on the brain chemistry and the nervous system. And what I find is that what's happening is their nervous system's calming down. Now their organ systems are getting a break, and they start to feel relief from some of those hormonal symptoms that they had also been feeling. I really think at the root of all of our disease is this: we can't tolerate stress, right? So if we can get to a stress tolerance, if we can support our body in a way in order to be able to tolerate stress and give our organs that time to just rest for a minute, they can boot back up and start working the way that they're meant to. And of course, like as we're going through my program, there's another survey I do too with my clients where we look at different organ systems to see which one needs the most attention. And if at the end it's like hormones still need the most attention, we've taken care of gut, we've taken care of thyroid, we've taken care of your vitamin and mineral needs and your essential fatty acids. Like we've taken care of 90% of what's making you feel bad, and they feel great, but they still have this hormonal thing that's bothering them. Then yeah, that's definitely where I'm reaching out to someone else saying like, hey, like hormones aren't my deal, but this person is still a little stuck on this.
Got it. Well, hormones are my deal. So
exactly.
We can team up.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, I have this thing called the triangle of wellness. And so I talk about the hormones, the nervous system, which is what you're talking about, and the immune system as being, if that triangle is working, then you have the tools that your body needs in order to heal. And I love that your focus is the nervous system and how you help, people impact that. I would love for you to talk about your event that's starting on this coming Thursday, a few days from now. What you're going to be talking about and how you're going to be helping women, and tell us all about it.
Yes, I'll tell you all about it. So I'm not doing most of the talking, actually. I've invited 8 speakers, including Dr. Shiroko, to the Joy Reset, which is a free online event. It's happening this Thursday, like she mentioned. I'm bringing together these experts in order to really share science-backed, actionable takeaways. So I don't want floofy. I don't want things that I can't execute. Like these speakers are bringing things that we can actually like take away and know as fact and really use some things immediately. So yeah, it's So it's Thursday, 8. Yeah, I think I got everything real quick there, actually. Did I miss anything?
Well, I put the link here on the video, and I'm going to put it in the comments so that people will have access to it. Oopsie. Let's see.
Yeah, there's experts like all across the board. I got somebody about skin, like what's your skin saying about your mental health? I've got childhood trauma. I've got, oh goodness, just nutrition. A little bit more. I have another person talking about brain chemistry besides myself. Just stress resilience in general. I've got one woman talking about perimenopause and menopause. It's the whole gamut of things. Rest, true rest, and how important that is and how it changes in different seasons of your life and what it looks like. So yeah, I'm excited to learn all of the things that these experts have agreed to share with during this event.
So, and what if they can't appear live? Is there going to be a recording that they'll have access to?
Yep. As long as they register, they'll have access to it for 48 hours afterwards.
Okay. So they don't have to, like, a lot of people are working during those hours.
Right.
And so it's harder for them to actually be present.
For sure. And everybody also has a pre-gift, which is also part of the replay. So they're not missing anything if they don't come live, except for that interaction and really being able to answer questions if they have them along the way. It's a great opportunity to be in the room with these really smart, influential people around our health.
I want to thank you, and I'm super excited to be part of it. And I encourage anybody who's struggling with all of the things that we've just been talking about, especially I'm super interested in this element of willpower. And I would love to have you talk about that just a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, power. Yeah. What helps a woman or any person really when they can't seem to get a handle on their willpower? Like, what can they do for that? And I'm guessing it has to do with your amino acids and things like that. Love us like a specific sort of case example of somebody
sure
control their eating.
Yeah, sure. First, yes, willpower is really, it's one of the biggest signs that your feel-good engines just aren't running the way that they're supposed to be running. You don't need to be on all the time, right? Like, that's not the objective, but like when everything feels like it just takes such effort to do anything, to put a smile on my face requires willpower, like that's a sign that your human body just isn't functioning the way that it was designed to function. So really getting that energy engine specifically, but all of them really, like, you can't have energy if you never relax, right? And your energy probably isn't great energy if you're not being positive. So they all work together. But the number one thing, like my number one takeaway for everybody always is to eat enough protein. And you might be saying the same thing as a hormone expert, is like, you got to eat enough protein. So even just getting protein in your mouth like every 3 to 4 hours, that's where the amino acids are in real life, not in supplement form. The amino acids are in the protein. So if you're not eating enough protein, you don't have the fuel that you need to run these feel-good engines. So when I have somebody stuck either in low willpower or any bad mood, really, it's like, honey, when's the last time you ate? And what did you eat? Okay, go put protein in your mouth and then come talk to me again in like 30 minutes after you eat protein. And then let's talk. Otherwise, you're just stuck in this despair. It's of course not always that easy, but it is a very common thing that, like, yep, I noticed again, because I bring the awareness around it that I didn't eat and then I felt this way. You asked for example of somebody. So yeah, I have one client who she told me in our intake call that this is coming up for me. And I know she has a willpower thing, but this is what's coming up for me. She told me in the intake call that the only time she felt joy was when she was acting, because she was pretending to be somebody else. And this woman's like 60 years old. This is how she's felt since she was a teenager.
Mhm.
And it just is like, oh my gosh. And so she just didn't believe that joy was something that came authentically to people.
Mhm.
And after a very short time of working together and these systems starting to fire, she's like, oh, I can get out of bed in the morning. I want to get out of bed in the morning. Like, I want to go on my treadmill that's sitting in my bedroom, and I put it in my bedroom because I could hardly get out of bed. And I thought if I put the treadmill in my bedroom, it'd help me get out of bed, but that didn't work. She had to fuel that brain first in order to get on the treadmill. She was very, her feelings before working together were very dependent on her environment. So
Mhm.
she had a very challenging adult son that lived with her. And if he like controlled the mood of the house. So if
Mhm.
he was in a bad mood, she was in a bad mood. It'd
Mhm.
bring her down. She'd just want to curl in a ball, And within probably a month or so of starting to work with me, you could tell by her response, and I call it out to her, like, you're not talking about your son's feelings anymore. You're talking about your feelings now. And so she really wasn't. She was able to enjoy her day regardless
Mhm.
of her son's circumstances, and really just being so in touch with her own feelings and what she wanted, and being able to make choices even more clearly and more confidently, because these systems were firing so well.
That's great. Thank you for that story. You're making me think of a bunch of people I'm going to just send you, and I'm going to
Oh,
personally email these people and tell them to attend our year event
thank you.
because it's so common.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
common. I have patients who can't feel happy if they're not doing a certain thing, or who can't control what they eat, or
Mm-hmm.
blame the whole world for anything that's not okay with inside of them.
Yeah.
So I would just love to have them get that kind of balance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. I'm
And I'll
super.
make sure I hadn't planned my segments. I was kind of waiting for the right inspiration, and this is one of them. So thank you for
Oh
that. Because yes,
yeah.
I will. In one of I have two 20-minute segments during the Joy Reset. So I think, yeah, in one or the other, I'll talk about this specifically.
I think that's really important. Yeah.
Mhm.
You're addressing something that's real. I just have one more question, and
Of
then
course.
um, well, first of all, we have the link here for the Joy Reset event. So please sign up for it, because you'll still have access even if you can't attend live. And second, what source of protein can you have if you're a vegetarian or a vegan? Like, how do you help those people have
Mhm.
enough protein?
That's a great question. And I just got it the other day, and I meant to research it before now, and I should have. I haven't had a lot of vegan or vegetarian clients, but a lot of vegetables do have decent protein in them. Broccoli comes to mind, just those cruciferous ones. And also, everybody's body is different as far as what they can and cannot tolerate. So, like,
Mhm.
it's if your body can truly tolerate soy, then eat soy. Pea protein, soy protein, peas in general. Like, I honestly have to do a lot of research more on which vegetables have the most protein, but I do know that there's plenty of them. There's plenty of them that do. You do not have to be a carnivore in order to feel good and have these feel good engines fire. There's plenty of protein in other foods that you can eat in order to fire the same engine.
Well, let me tell you one that was real exciting for me.
Yeah, tell me.
I love
I'm
potatoes,
learning.
and potatoes have been getting a bad rap for a long time because they're a carby food, and a lot of people avoid carbs. But potatoes are high in protein.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I know.
That
And
is
it was
so
very
surprising.
exciting to like I think a group of
Yeah.
yeah.
We didn't talk about blood sugar either, but like that's something that, like, so my clients wear a continuous glucose monitor for a couple weeks. And
Mhm.
so that's something that I would have any, maybe somebody who's vegan would wear it even longer, just to really see which vegetables are making their blood sugar do this and which ones are keeping it constant. Because yeah, you want to avoid that blood sugar roller coaster. But if the potatoes aren't doing that to you, then don't worry about it. Just eat the potatoes.
Yeah, it depends on what you mix them with, really, too. So you eat them with something else. And then there's that whole resistant starch thing where you rebake them, you know, like, and there's so even if they raise your blood sugar, when you recook them, there's a different response. So
yeah, for sure. They all have different energy about them. All of the way you cook it matters, for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here. Do you have any final comments that you would like to leave with my audience?
No, just thank you so much, and know that if your mood is low and your brain is foggy, it's not that you're broken. It's just we got to figure out how to feed your brain what it actually needs, and what it needs is different than the person you're sitting next to and us that you're watching right now. Everybody's needs are very unique. We're all depleted in different ways, and we need more of things that the next person doesn't need as much of. So yeah, just don't lose hope, and keep learning, and keep fighting for yourself, because there is a way through it. You don't need to stay in that low mood forever.
Thank you so much. That was a great way to end this. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Chatting with you again in a few days.
Yes. Thanks, Shiroko.
Thank you.